Deputy Prime Minister says Australia is trying to stabilise the relationship with China. It comes as the Foreign Minister prepares for talks with Beijing's top diplomat in New York. Let's go live to Trudy McIntosh. Trudy, we'll see how significant it is, but will either side give any ground, I guess is the key question.
It seems clear, Tom, ahead of this meeting from both the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister that Australia is not changing its position. It will continue to stand up for its national interests. But they are welcoming potentially this second talks in just the space of 12 weeks between Foreign Minister Wong and her Chinese counterpart, Wang Yi. These talks are likely to take place in New York in the next few days on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly. You can see here, this is the last time the pair met, and that happened in Bali back in July. The Defence Minister Richard Marles said this morning that this is about trying to stabilise this relationship with Australia's biggest trading partner. Penny Wong saying it's not locked in yet, but it seems clear that this meeting is about to take place.
In terms of China, I've made clear that we are open to engagement. I understand those arrangements are being finalised, and if they are finalised, then I'm sure that we will have a productive engagement. What I would say to you is our position, whether in the meeting or outside of the meeting, remains consistent in relation to Australia's national interests.
While in New York, the Foreign Minister also met with her Ukrainian counterpart. Now, he used that meeting to continue to put pressure on Australia to provide more Bushmaster military vehicles to the war-torn country. They say these vehicles have been really crucial in the counter-offensive we're seeing against Russia's invasion. Now, the Ukrainian ambassador to Australia on Sky News earlier today made these comments suggesting he believes we will see more Bushmasters delivered to the country, and that's going to happen soon. It's my understanding that there's been no hold-up in terms of from the government point of view. Australia has committed 60 Bushmasters that will be sent to Ukraine. Not all 60 have actually been delivered at the moment. They've got to go through a process where they're actually modified so they can be used successfully by Ukraine. So there is more Bushmasters on the way. We just don't have a timeline on exactly when that will be. Here's the ambassador and also the Defence Minister.
There are Bushmasters available, and but any assistance for Ukraine requires a cabinet meeting. And due to the death of a monarch, it's the meetings of the cabinet have been delayed. I have information that it's been really looked into.
So your understanding is we have Bushmasters, they're available. If cabinet approves it, there'll be more on the way.
That's my understanding. We've also made the request for more artillery, more shells, more ammunition.
And now exactly what that support looks like, the form it takes, that's a matter that we will continue to work through with the Ukrainian government.
Trudy, the government also defending a decision to hold an inquiry into childcare costs that comes back after the next big injection of more subsidies.
So, Tom, this was a $10 million election commitment by Labor that they're going to get the competition watchdog to have a look at why we've seen childcare prices skyrocket, something more like 41% over the last 8 years. Now, this review is going to take 12 months, as you say, and it's going to not report back formally until after the government's multi-billion-dollar childcare subsidy changes are actually already in place. They're going to go to Parliament next week when it returns and kick in from July the 1st. There's been calls from the Greens, the New South Wales government and many others to bring it forward. That won't happen. But the Education Minister, Jason Clare, has revealed today that whilst this review will take 12 months, they will get some interim findings. So they're going to potentially be able to tweak the childcare subsidies if that's one of the recommendations.
We want to make sure that we've got all of the necessary measures in place to push prices down. We've already got caps on the childcare subsidy, but if the ACCC recommends that there are other things that we can do to put downward pressure on prices, then that's a good thing, and that's the sort of thing that we would want to implement.
So they're not ruling out there potentially making tweaks or modifications if there is that recommendation from the ACCC, Tom. But this legislation that will kick this childcare subsidy changes into effect will go to Parliament, as I say, early next week.